Mike Mpofu, it's Mike Timombe, and the Prophet Makandiwa in the
technical problem. I'll be fixing it shortly. Let me try to do it.
That cooperation that is it will make us satisfied as SADC residents to say, I know if you violate me and you run to the other country, I can come for you. Because if you look at Bushiri, there's no reason for Malawi to refuse to extradite Bushiri to South Africa, because number one, we don't even have death penalty down here where they can actually say bringing him here will may end up with him being killed by capital punishment. So I'm just saying, from that point of view, I mean, Malawi defeated us on that end. I'm not sure whether NPA wants to push that case further, but we have that as an example as well.
Can I interrupt you, my brother? Why the Bushiri case?
Somewhere this X space just stopped. I don't know what is happening. Every time I try to come to these guys and listen.
It's like
okay.
The South Africans. Mnangagwa is good. It's no permanent difference. As I have highlighted, there are people that are currently serving in Chipurubi who were once making loud noise to say they dine in the wine, pouring wine on Rolex watches, but he put them under the bus. Unless you are very close to his circle, that's when he can save you. Emerson can put you under the bus no matter who you are. So if it comes out to say the individuals are A, B, C, and D, whether...
Okay, so it can't come back. It's not from my side. I was thinking it's maybe my gadget, but I can see the guys speaking.
They are state agents. They will be sacrificed.
If you know how. I think I need to say this. No, I think I need to say this. But okay, let me put it out there. Because there's one consideration, my chest pains. They are basically a heart problem.
I don't know what is happening in this space. I don't know. I don't know what really is happening. They speak and then just disappears like that. The sound, there is no sound. I can see they are speaking, but to me there is no sound. Let me try to get off and come back again. Just bear with me. They are discussing the case of Job Sikhala, and today I just want to bring other perspectives, none other than mine, just to listen to other people interacting on this particular case. Let's hope I will win this time around. That's why I don't love to cover these things, because at one moment they are okay, and
right.
Let me use English so that South African understand. Some other people eat chicken at a funeral, so some other.
Yeah. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted really to stream live. This is definitely not from my side. I can see they're speaking. My gadget shows them speaking, but I can't get sound. I don't know what is happening. Let me try for the last time. If it fails, it will be over. I won't be doing these things once again. Let me just try for the last time. I wanted to really give them airtime here for the longest period of time. They're discussing about issues surrounding the arrest of Job Sikhala and his.
Okay, thank you. I think Uncle Jared, maybe I hope you understand me. To arrest someone, when you arrest someone, there are two things that are involved. You either that person walks free or they are found guilty. So with this case, I think, and I'm not.
I don't know what is that.
So that is not the wrongful. The only time you can ask for compensation is if you are wrongfully arrested, like in missed identity. Like we are looking for Donald, but we arrest a freelance, and we say it's Donald. That is that amount warrants compensation. But in this case, the right person was arrested, but investigation proves he was framed. So it doesn't really mean it was wrongful arrest. It was correct arrest, but the circumstances that led for you to be in a wrong place at the wrong time are the ones that are going to make you walk free. But that doesn't mean you are warrant. You can come back and claim a compensation of some sort. Only in the case of mistaken identity and wrongful arrest that can be persuaded. I think I'm clean.
Right. Thank you very much, for that. So let us move on, ladies and gentlemen. I want to bring in NDWG Information Center. Thank you for rejoining us. Once again, as you promised that you'd come back. So thank you for honoring that share with us. And then before you go there, Muftadas, Maspera, say how you doing?
Very good, Uncle. How are you?
No, I'm good.
Boys, they say.
Everyone is cool. Everyone is good here. I don't know your ends there.
We're not complaining. Really well, and good news for Job Sikhala. What a refreshing outcome. Considering what is actually good that some countries are watching a democracy, judiciary system, it works. Because honestly, if this was in Zimbabwe, we know we could have anticipated the worst. So really grateful for that. And maybe one other thing that I've noted as well, I saw a video that was posted, and I don't know, it's in Garifume on the timeline, and there were some people behind him. I don't know, was he literally of the court or it was a few hours later, but there were some people and they had some posts. Some said no to 2030, and all those kind of posts. And
it was directly out from the court.
That was directly from the court.
In South Africa, people can stand outside the court and hold their place cards.
And they won't be beaten.
While the court proceedings are happening inside.
Right.
That's why you would find out when figures like Zuma, they go to court. After that, he holds a rally outside the court instantly.
Okay. No. So what I was just alluding to, Kuti, what it does then is also give a little bit of international exposure to this, to 2030 or to Job Sikhala. So I think whatever the intention there, I don't think that's what the people that planted the thing wanted to do. I think it has had the opposite effect of what they were trying to do, because if anything, him coming out of the courts, having people behind him, cameras, news spreading everywhere, and to 2030 people who were not even interested, or they get to know that. So it's quite really refreshing. And then just one last point, I think people were talking about ZANU-PF protecting their own, that they sent to do this. There's one story that I could remind you, Uncle. I don't know if you remember Takuzwa Ngatsore. There was one time when Takuzwa was badly beaten, badly taken away, and there was a video. He actually took a video on Facebook, tried to Facebook Live it, and the guy can literally be seen in the video. You could see this guy Agabata AK-47. That guy was never arrested. That guy was we never heard anywhere. I don't know. We would have heard. So the guy definitely was not arrested. He was not asked for questioning. Instead, they tried to spin it around again and say, Takuzwa was creating a story that was never there. He was never. But the guy was actually beaten, and you could tell, he had all those wounds like these kids from university, that were abducted and beaten. So they do, at some point, they do protect their people. I think the only time that they will let someone, take one for the team is probably when there is too much pressure from the media, when there's too much pressure, or when they just feel, you know what, we can discard of this one. But I'd like to believe they actually try to protect, these dodgy people that they sent. But anyway, Uncle, we can do go ahead.
All right, thank you very much. Right, the next speaker was supposed to come. I think they've dropped. Can I bring in Dr. Moses? Dr. Moses, come through, and then I'm going to ask my sister Selenko Simoe to come in as well. Right, so Selenko Simoe comes in, and Tatenda, you follow. So my brother, Dr. Moses, please take the mic.
Thank you, Uncle Jed, Titus, and listeners. Yeah, this is a great conversation, and I think I will start from what Titus actually said, that it's refreshing, and it's actually likely to have a different effect than they actually intended it to have. Because if he is exonerated, and the CCTV images, whatever, shows that the explosives were planted in his car, definitely it will be clear that this is a job that was done by regime agents. So, Uncle Jed, I showed you a clip where I spoke on SABC with Peter Ndor was asking me on this question of Job Sikhala. And one thing that I thought about is that imagine a situation where someone is in another country and the government put an effort to put explosives in the vehicle of that particular person. These are resources that should be used for our hospitals, for our schools. Look at the resources that are directed towards repression. I mean, all these resources, they can be used towards developing our country instead of using them to repress our people. Vanhu vasina mapirisi muchipatara baba. Munhu maresources anoshandiswa kuita zvinhu zvakadaro. That's one thing that broke my heart. Another thing is, South Africa is a country where we have many Zimbabweans who are based there. And they are xenophobic about against Zimbabweans who are based in South Africa. The last thing a responsible authority can do is to actually do what happened to Job Sikhala, because it can ignite xenophobic sentiments to say, look at what we were saying, that these people are criminals. Look at even their former MPs, they are coming here with explosives. And that can make Zimbabweans and other foreigners to be targeted in South Africa. That's very irresponsibility. That's irresponsibility at its highest order. Then another aspect is the question of the relations between South Africa and Zimbabwe, because we know for certain that the ANC ruling elite has been shielding or protecting the government here in Zimbabwe. They have not been condemning human rights violations. They have not been condemning rigged elections. Even this 2030 agenda, they are not doing that. They are protecting this government, and then they don't want Zimbabweans to come to South Africa illegally. So I hope that this issue should be a turning point in terms of the ANC leadership. It should now begin to say what you are doing is not right in respect of human rights violations, in respect of rigging elections, and in respect of the 2030 agenda. And I think that it should also help Zimbabwe to now mobilize regional and even international support, right? To put Zimbabwe's situation on the radar of SADC and the African Union at the least, because it's a situation that needs to be monitored. When we are talking about the early warning,
When I try to improve this, then it goes.
15.
Okay.
We are talking about it.
We're talking about, okay, let's just deal with it.
Think that can be this issue that happened to Job Sikhala is a platform for that. To say, look, even if you're in the diaspora, you are not safe. You understand this situation. One more thing, maybe as I close, Ango Jed.
I'm getting less by the that I've been trying to follow the questions.
Peter asked me that why targeting Job Sikhala? And I said that Job Sikhala is one of the politicians who have demonstrated a fearless determination. He's somebody who has said, I am ready to die for what I believe in. And he just doesn't say that, he means it and he does it. He puts his boots on the ground for that. So they know that if we target this person, then it will send waves of fear across Zimbabwe and even in the diaspora for people to say we can't oppose this. Let us.
Hopefully it will come back to me, and it's not from myself. You see, he has been doing well for quite some time, but decided to just put in such a way. I don't know what's happening. I was quite exposed to if we can get there for the last time. Took it for the last time, cancelled, then I thought what I thought I'd take a break and we will have to leave with more and then
So if they did it with an evil intention, a bad intention, but I can see that it's going to be something that is going to be good for Sikhala and the opposition in general. Thanks, Ango. Yes, I think I'll end there.
Right. Thank you very much, for that. I appreciate. Right. Can I bring in my sister's language, sister, the mic?
Okay, good evening, everyone.
You too.
I would like to reintroduce myself again to those who don't know me. My name is Silenkos Moyo. I'm the Deputy National Spokesperson of the National Democratic Working Group led by Job Sikhala. So, I came back because I think before I left, I disclosed the bail conditions. Right?
Yes.
Face, yeah. So those bail conditions were according to the lawyer, but actually the judge only said bail, but it seems he didn't write anything. So meaning those who know law, they cannot come outside court and now say you can your bail conditions goes like this. You are supposed to write that. So we had a brief meeting with the owner of the dog. He just briefed us with the so maybe it might be an open bail. So
Right.
which will be free maybe to move around. But I can assure you, Kudai is safe and sound. He thanked also the support for everyone. So that's all that I have to say.
Right. So you're saying that this condition is informed by the lawyer. We say that Job has to report twice, he has to surrender his public. But in the actual order, it is not specified.
Yeah, the lawyer said it, and if you according to law, if we could, this is what's supposed to happen. But the issue is the magistrate is only granted bail. He didn't write anything down.
Right.
So, Job being a lawyer, he said then which means he can also pay because he cannot come again tomorrow and say no. I granted you bail, but you're supposed to follow this and this and this.
Right. Oh, I do understand you there.
Yeah.
So that is the only update that you have for us?
Yeah, so far I wanted to correct that because they say that they only took his passport so that before there's something that they want to see, but if they're done, you can only as well collect his passport, I think.
Right. Okay, maybe probably to do with the passport is to ascertain his legal status in South Africa. What do you think of this?
So for why legally informed, yeah, I started finance, I know nothing about it.
Okay, let's ask it until
actually, let's discuss actually. But that's what he said as a lawyer. So I don't know
right.
what I say.
Right. Okay, let's hear from Tatenda. Tatenda, give us your take on this.
Usually, the bail conditions and also the open bail, like when you are made to pay a certain bail amount, then given a court date. And along the line, so long you are not a flight. Usually, when a person is a flight risk or there are possibilities that you could abscond, that's when they put measures to say report weekly or monthly. But when they set date to say you are going to come into court on this date, usually there's no need for you to be reported. The condition of reporting to police is usually put when there is a possibility that you're like this. You could abscond, you could leave and never come back. But I don't think Job would want to find himself in such a situation whereby this case is a case of interest that could keep the government on the court, and it can be used as a campaign tool, because as things stand, like what the letter speaker said, the outcome which the Zimbabwean government was expecting is not what is materializing. They miscalculated. So now, if I'm Job, I will remain in line to the bail conditions that I have. If I'm only given a paid bail like this 10,000 rand bail without any conditions, I just live according to my normal stay if I'm in South Africa. If I'm allowed to leave and come back for my court days, then I leave the country, do my business. When my court days are approaching, then I go back.
Right. Right. No, I hear you on that one. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Right. Do you want to make your submission then, and then I'll move on to to the other speakers?
Yeah, I can quickly make a quick submission.
All right. Okay.
Uncle Gerard, I want to encourage people who are in South Africa right now, fellow Zimbabweans. utilize the presence of Comrade Job Sikhala while he's still in South Africa, mobilize and demonstrate, be in a state of capitalizing and get information on how we are planning to use these resistance actions that need to be done. But he has to do it in a way whereby he doesn't then how to back. He might not be directly be the one that will be meeting people, but they should be meeting. There should be action on the ground. Demonstrations in South Africa. Get legal approval. Because in South Africa, if you make all you follow all the guidelines to do a legal demonstration, there's no way the South African government and police will refuse you. People are allowed to demonstrate and exercise their rights. That's why you see people who demonstrate about Palestine or demonstrate about any sort of demonstration about their country or international issues without resistance. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate. My NWG, do you want to come in now?
Okay. Thank you, host Uncle Jet and co-host Titus and the rest who are on that on this space. I'm apologizing earlier on. I wanted to excuse myself to say, can I just leave and come back for a while because I had something to attend. That's why I had to interject in the middle of the submission as the speaker was actually on the floor. I'm glad we are meeting for the second time after earlier on discussing on your space sometime during the day today. Also observing my deputy spokesperson, Moyo, Slenkos Moyo, who is also on board, who was also putting in submissions earlier on. And I also observed our chief national organizer, Engineer Joseph Mugari was also here. I think he's also left. Maybe he's going to come later. We are very much excited about the development which took place today in South Africa, where our chairman and chief facilitator, Honorable Job Sikhala, was granted bail. As we've heard, Slang was explaining, the bail is open. There was no conditions attached to the bail. Only that the bail which was paid was 10,000 to give them freedom. Then they will come back 3 February 2026, which is quite a good window to refresh and reconnect with the people around NDWG and anyone who is actually sympathizing us and the rest of Zimbabweans. That is quite phenomenal in what has happened. Typically, South African judiciary has shown that they are quite fundamental in.
Okay, I think I have to stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. I tried my best to bring this. So this was the discussion that is
with the nationality, how they actually attended to the bail application for our leader. It's quite good news. That is what I can say for now, unless maybe you want to ask something, anyone within the family.
For me, I'm good. I think what I needed to know is in as far as in as far as what I didn't ask is how is he health-wise, him, he himself, how is he, Job Sikhala, mentally, or what can you say about his condition?
He's looking good today after he left the court and towards sunset. We had a 30-minute discussion on the telephone together with my deputy, Slengos Moyo, as well as our South Region facilitator. So he's looking good. He's in a job mood, and his health is looking fantastic.
Okay, thank you. I think that's all we needed to hear about Job Sikhala today. He's a free man, and we understand that the judge did not actually give Job Sikhala conditions So he's actually a free man. He will be back in South Africa around February on this particular matter. And things actually going good for Job Sikhala. And I think to Emerson Dambuzomnangagwa, this arrest backfiring. I saw placards of people saying no to 2030, being actually the message that was also sent behind the scenes by the supporters of Job Sikhala. And that shows resoluteness into opposing the 2030 that is being pushed by Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. I know in the books of Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, they would have loved Job Sikhala to stay in prison for the longest period of time. That's not the fact. If there is anything, it is becoming more clearer that Mnangagwa and his ZANU-PF have been behind putting Job Sikhala behind the bars in a foreign country. I think I've spoken at length about this and the implications of this on South Africa and how South Africa should act on the previous video. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we film live, you become the very first one to watch us. So let's move. Mtaba is signing off. Let me love and leave you. Let's meet on the other side of the live broadcast. Definitely, as I